Hello everyone. I would want everyone to close their eyes right now and let me paint a picture for you. So, let's say, hypothetically, it's 10 p.m. on a Sunday night. It's cold outside, your heater's on, you're in your blankets. And let me vote. How many of you guys have watched Squid Game 2? Okay, a couple of you. Let's say you're watching Squid Game and it's nice and it's comfy, and suddenly, bam, your favorite character died. My favorite character personally is Thanos, but so you're not even paying attention to Squid Game though. Unfortunately, you're worried about 2 assignments due at 11:59 p.m. Oh, the dreaded time. Well, why am I even giving you this scenario at all? My friends, usually when they can't get their assignments done on time, they say, oh diggity dog, it's going to be late. Well, I'm giving you this scenario because this was me 2 days ago. Now, unless you're human, or unless you're an alien or you're perfect, this scenario has happened to everyone. So, why don't you just do it? Well, some may say it is procrastination or it's laziness. Our parents often tell us that we're being lazy or procrastinating, and we also tell ourselves that. But what if it wasn't this at all? What if it was burnout? So, let's say you've just had an orchestra competition, or you spent hours and hours volunteering the past week. I know at least one person in the audience who spends all their weekends volunteering. Or maybe you've had 9 tests in the past week and you're just exhausted. Or maybe you've had an argument with your best friend, your parents, or your significant other. Well, I'm here to tell you that that is all valid, and I've been there before. This is burnout, and it's not laziness or procrastination when you're dealing with all of this. So, I've said the word burnout several times in my presentation. What is burnout exactly? Burnout, by WebMD, is a form of exhaustion caused by constantly feeling swamped, caused by mental and physical stress. Too long of words for me. I summarize it as you fuel the fire until it burns down the house. The house is you and your mental state, and the fire is all the externalities going on around you. Let me give you a statistic. 71% of high school students struggle with burnout. Now, I'm sure you're in math class, you've had all these numbers thrown at you before. 71%, what is that? Well, there's about 100 of you here, I'm estimating. 71 of you guys are burnt out right now. 70, because one of them is me. Well, I'm also here to tell you that 86% of adults also struggle with burnout. Why is that important? Well, burnout is not just something caused by when you're in high school. It goes on in college, in your life. It doesn't end until you solve it. So, in particular, high school students, we're expected certain grades, we're expected to participate in certain extracurriculars because we're here to make our parents proud and to make ourselves proud. We're here for results, measurable results. We want to get into a certain college, we want to major in a certain topic, and that's why we're here. And that is why so much stress is produced of us, because expectations. Here's my example. Now you get to learn a little bit more about me if you don't already know me. I'm taking 4 AP classes at the moment. I'm in the International Baccalaureate Program, IB. I'm sure some of you guys in the audience are also in here. I'm in Team Sprocket, 3473. Very time consuming and very tiring, but it's very rewarding. On the psychological aspect of things, which is what I want to do, I do peer counseling. I am a peer counselor here. And I also peer counsel other people online. I do life coaching. I also volunteer at a farm, which I'm sure some of you are also in the farm. And as a student leader, it's very time consuming at some times. There are so many examples more that I could give you of things that I'm personally working on. I have a club as well that I'm starting soon. But what about you guys? I'm sure some of you guys related to some of my examples here, and some of you have your own. As Kristen said, some of you are athletes, some of you do other things, some of you have certain things that you want to focus on in the future, that you're working on. And all of that drains you, it burns you out. So, now that I've talked about burnout, what are some symptoms of burnout? Well, many people often confuse burnout with depression. But what separates it? Well, depression is much more long-term, and to fix depression, you would need to get counseling for this. Burnout, fortunately, is much shorter term, and it's characterized by lack of confidence, feeling tired all the time, emotional overload, no motivation, and many times you could push people or lash out at people that are trying to help you, your friends or your family. In addition, you could feel nothing for things that you commonly enjoy doing or your hobbies. This all does sound like depression. So how do you cure burnout? Do you need to take antidepressants? I sure hope not. Well, this is my example of how I deal with burnout, and this is how most of you should as well. It's important when you're dealing with burnout to take a step back and to realize that this does not last forever. You have to get your priorities straight and remember why you're here in the first place and why you're doing all of these things. For me, it may sound cliche and it may sound cheesy, but I want to ride the tallest roller coaster in the world and explore the depths of the ocean. I want to explore all the countries in the world, meet so many amazing people, and make connections. In addition, this is a more far-fetched version of that dream. After this, I want to settle down, have a barn, raise 12 puppies, and become a badass FBI officer. That sounds insane, right? I'm sure some of you guys are laughing at me, and it does sound insane, I know. But this is what makes me happy, and this is what motivates me. Now, I ask all of you in the audience, what motivates you? What keeps you here, and what's driving you? Because none of this is related to grades. None of this is related to college. This is what makes me, me. So, as you leave here today, I want you guys to remember and to recall what makes you, you, and what do you want to accomplish in the future that isn't related to grades or school or that one test you have tomorrow or what teacher is annoying. So, after this, you won't feel burnt out any longer. You'll burn in. You'll feel the fire that motivates you and makes you want to keep living. Thank you.